So I'm not quite sure what the heck's happened here, but something is not right. I literally spawned into the world this way, and yeah, even tapping out back into the window, hitting escape, and then back doesn't fix it. I'm somehow now inside of a chunk error. I don't know if it's gonna be willing to fix itself. I don't think so. But the world is very shattered right now. I don't understand why. Yeah, this is me looking at myself right now and I'm not visible. Looking from behind myself. It's even weirder. It's me shifting. Me trying to move and sprint. What the fudge? All I know is, oh yeah, I am slowly moving. What the heck? What is happening? Can't shift my way out of it. I can't sprint my way out of it. I can't walk my way out of it. The heck? I can't jump my way out of it. What is happening? Well, at least I didn't have to completely exit out of the game. I thought I might have to. But instead I exited out of the world and entered back, and everything's good again, which is good to see. So, alright, so I'm gonna go into the cave system because I have a, of course, it's down already. I have an ultimate goal. Because it's already a rapid change from what I said before. But surprise, surprise, you're not gonna know that yet.
Yeah, something to do with it. The number said something to do with this. Okay.
There's gonna be a lot of other mining done. Alright, so, if you watch through to the end of episode 2, the last episode of MRS, Minecraft Randomized Survival, then you would have, of course, seen our collection of more red blocks, or redstone blocks, gold blocks, iron blocks is the main thing, along with the coal blocks. 6442, we burned one of those blocks. Actually, we burned a good handful of those blocks. Smelting these ores, so yeah, we still have 6, 7, and 3 of those loose, which is always good. I wonder if this is that same system that has that spawner in it, because I think it was a spider spawner, and that sounds like a spider spawner to me. For sure. I think that's, yeah, I think this leads directly into that spider spawner. Seems like it was a little lower down though, didn't it? No, it seems like not a little, it seems like it actually was a lot lower down now that I think about it. He picks up the cobblestone. Oh, no, yeah, there's a spawner right there, right? Yeah, that spawner's marked actually. So this is another spawner, it's a spoder spawner. Don't like this. He's now also gonna pick up the cobblestone. No, he's not. Or she, whatever. Maybe identifies a helicopter. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Skeletronics. Oh, thank you for going down. Now, if you stay down, that'd be appreciated. Now, I know it's gonna make me uncrouch if I try to waypoint this. I don't appreciate that. So, yeah. Yep. It does. Although I think it pauses when I do this, really? Numero dos. Actually, you know what? I should just call it what it is. A spider spawner. Spoder spawner. Numero one. I mean, yeah, it's not actually the spawner, but it's really close by, so. $83.7. No, actually, this is that same spawner. There's an opening right over there. Wow, it's a lot closer by than I thought it was. Or a lot less deep, I should say. Dang. No, okay, he went way down there. That's good. Still could be a way up. I doubt it, but. Like goes all the way down. Really appreciate it if you wouldn't. Nope, nope, no cheap shots. I knew you were gonna get a cheap shot there. Rat bastard. Oh yeah, there's a Zamble in it. Oh, I can actually punch it. I punched it through the block. I love it. I finally got my own cheap shot. That's great. Oh wow, it goes way up. You scared me. I'm startled. Actually, you know, I could have left that open just because it goes underneath the spawner, and actually I feel like that's a good idea. To potentially set up a entrapment setup there. Be really rad. Now, I don't want to get too close to the spawner and then ruin my own life. Because they could decide to finally find their way out of there. But there's a lot in there right now, and I have a feeling it's probably the poison spiders. So, let's actually properly waypoint this. So, spoder spawner. 1. Thank you. Oh, I thought I swatted him way out of my way. I thought, well, I'm screwed. Fortunately, nope. In fact, that last hit got 10 health off of him, so cannot complain. Actually, I can't complain about it. I'm just not going to. But yeah, it's another cave area. I will light up. Oh, hello. Oh. You are mean. Another creeper. There he goes. So it's like he supposedly has not yet noticed me. That's a little late on my part. Hello there, sir. Please tap. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. No, I didn't want to do that at all. Gosh dang me. Didn't mean to drop all the way down. Yeah, this thing just weaves in and around itself all the time, it looks like. It's cool and all, but not what I'm intending. Ooh, diamonds. Don't mind if I do. No way. You take the sensible route, because of course you do. Ow. How was I close enough for that? I'll take it, but... Gosh dang, and there's a creeper hanging out right there too, of course. Why wouldn't there be? No. Come to me. Exactly. Yep, now here comes the creeper, of course. Come on, there you go. How did that still take 3 hits? That's wild. What the? You've got to be kidding me. Oh no. Oh dear me. Still can't pick up enough. Flash. Only 2. I almost feel like I want to throw it out, but... yeah, that'd become better way. And that. If need be. I don't think I need to, but it doesn't matter. Shoot do 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 do. God damn it. Oh my god, one single, wow, what a, 4 chicks. I'll happily take that, man. God damn, that's epic. Hello everybody, this is Danny OpplundTest here, and welcome to episode 3. Now I didn't give any proper introduction into episode 3, of course, as you can tell, because of the fact that I didn't exactly know how the episode would go. I just knew I had one goal there when I first recorded, which was a different day than the second part, which was to gather as much redstone as I could, which was a sudden shift in plans, so that I could decide, instead of waiting, to actually go out of my way to make a rapid transit network throughout the world. Then I realized I need a heck of a lot of iron and wood for that, so I can make all the rails that's needed, amongst all, of course, the platform for the rails. So that's that project is definitely way far out in the future, and I didn't consider that for just the fact that I am smart and I know how to do things sometimes, so probably not. Anyway, this said, as you can see here on this part, there is, well, obviously lag. Now, I don't know why exactly there was so much lag in the recording, but my recording software really was faulting really hard on the second part of this episode. I'm not sure why. I recorded this a couple, 3 days later, I think, because the project, of course, had to shift, and I decided, I want to make a mob spawner. Well, when I started recording this, I knew I had lag there in the first part, but I didn't. It eventually stopped, like it usually does. It always starts with lag, and then eventually it cleans itself up. For some reason, this episode, the recording software was really lagging out hard. Like, my game was not having this frame issue and this lag issue, but the recording software captured it as if it did. So it's the recording software that did this. For some reason, it was having a heart attack and stroke simultaneously the entire time. To why, I can't possibly to explain, because I have no idea. It sometimes gets a mind of its own and decides it's dying in flames. I don't know why. So what happened with the first bit of the second part of this episode, again, I was experiencing the traditional lag when I first start recording an episode. I always cut that out, and then of course I bring you the episode a little bit later. Well, this time, instead of waiting for the lag to sort itself out, I kind of forced it. And when I forced it to kind of comply, the lag lasted about twice as long, and then it finally cleared up. Well, that timeline matched perfectly to right as it finally, like right before it would have cleared up, the lag, my recording software faulted really hard, and suddenly all audio wasn't being recorded. You could hear my computer fan, you could hear me clearing my throat, you could hear blocks while it was lagging hard, but while I was forcing it the entire time. So what happened was basically my recording software rebelled really hard against me not just allowing it the time to sort itself out, and it completely clipped out and decided it was no longer going to record any audio of, let alone, so no audio as in not my voice and not from the game. So this second part has absolutely zero audio, and as you can tell, it's very framey. So, I mean, you can tell it's sort of sorting itself out. Of course, I say that, and then we see here again, same thing. It could also just be the preview I'm looking at now that I think about it. Probably is that more than the actual video itself. I don't think it's actually laggy at all. In fact, from what I looked at, I don't think it was lagging at all. So yeah, I think this is actually the preview. So what I'm saying, you might not actually be seeing. But yeah, the point is, yeah, it faulted out because I forced it, and there's no audio at all on it. So that's why I'm here narrating this little piece here to explain what exactly was going on in the first half and why suddenly there's this big change. And you see this big gap because now there's this big platform here in the beginning of the second part that's almost all the way down. That's because it's a mob spot, or a mob grinder. I keep calling it a mob spawner. It's a mob grinder. The plans on this changed almost immediately as well, because originally I was going to try to make this type of sort of mob spawner, or more of a traditional, you would think easier mob spawner or grinder, beneath the spider spawner I have in that cave directly beneath my house, or just say my outpost here. So what happened was I realized I don't have the brain power or the capacity to figure out how that would work, especially considering, of course, you have the spawner in the dead center. It doesn't work this way. As you can tell, this tube type thing coming down from this platform, it's four. Internally, there's 4 blocks, so it's 2 by 2. That's because of the fact that this is a more traditional kind of mob grinder. So I swapped this because I knew I could accomplish this, and this is one I watched be made, so I could basically jog my memory of how to make it and how simple it was, because I knew it was simple. Now, this comes with its own intrinsic issues. If you pay close attention, you'd probably, you have experience doing this, you probably notice two things. One, it's not built into the ground. Most mob grinders are built into the ground because that way, where the mobs are spawning, well, you're right next to it. You never have this proximity issue where mob spawns don't really happen because you're too many blocks away and or in a different chunk. So yeah. Also, the second thing is you're gonna notice how incredibly high up the mob grinding building is. How far down that pipe's got to go. That was because I got overly ambitious and overly zealous. I know that technically I think it's 28 blocks fall is the rule, or 28 blocks off the ground, or wherever they're spawning at, down, is the rule for killing them automatically, and also having them close enough to spawn the witches alongside your typical skeletons, spiders, and zombies. Yeah, I got overly ambitious. I didn't think about that. I was scrambled mentally. I didn't correctly associate each of the pieces of information I received to build, and then I realized, oh, I get it. 28 blocks. That's the fall duration. But I had already built the entire platform and the walls by that point when I realized that. Now, instead of 28 blocks up, this is 44 blocks up. To the floor of the platform where they're going to be spawning on. So, yeah, they're 44 blocks high. Well, technically 45 blocks high. Where their heads are going to be, if they're not a spider, then it's 46 blocks up from where I am. Not counting also it's on top of a tree, on top of a hill that is also higher than where I spend most of my time, which is in this tiny little gully. So yeah, I didn't think that through. So actually it's probably equivalent to right around a full stack of blocks, so 64 or so blocks above the floor of that place, above where I reside in that little outpost region. Not only that, you have those count the blocks to the side I am, well, and spend most of my time in, and you kind of get the idea that, yeah, the mobs probably aren't going to be spawning in that, that tower mob grinder very frequently. They do spawn, but it seems incredibly sparse, their spawn rates. And so far, that I know of, there's only been 2 zombies, which you'll see by the end of this episode. But yeah, so I just wanted to do this little bit of narration here in the second part so that you guys had a little bit of commentary, and you guys could kind of figure out what just happened, why suddenly there's jump in progress, and why the change of plans happened, and all this other stuff. One of the big problems I ran into is I had like a half a stack of stone, which of course you don't see here because the first time I tried to record that first half of this second half of the episode where I got that far with the mob grinder process, that took an hour and 48 minutes or something like that to record. I didn't realize there's a mandatory rule for me to follow when recording, which is that I absolutely have to physically manually select the game window before I start recording. I didn't know that, so because it's supposed to automatically detect the window anyway that's active, and that's up front, and it sort of did, but instead what it did is it ended up showing the Minecraft Java output window, my recording software window, and then my desktop. Yeah, so you have the commentary on that part, but you don't have any game footage, so that's great too. So that faulted. That was my own fault that it faulted. So yeah, and this is also, it's like half my fault, obviously half the program's fault, why I decided to just be an ass and be like, screw you. You tried to force it. You didn't just sit there and let me sort myself out, so you can go screw yourself. You get no audio. So yeah, but because of that, that's why you don't see the actual initial recording there. I made that progress with the mob grinder, and then now you see me grinding for cobblestone, is because I had ran out of stone, and I needed to get as much stone as I possibly could in order to finish it. So that's a lot of this episode or the second part of this episode was actually me grinding for the cobblestone. Fortunately, with the power of editing, I don't have to show you much of that. I'll show you a little bit, obviously in a very sped up version, because, you know, I want to be able to show at least some of the grinding process I did. Obviously not all of it, because that's really boring, but I want to be able to show some of it. Also, that noted at the end of the episode, not knowing, of course, that my commentary wasn't being recorded anymore. So I'm going to tell you it right now. Episode 4 is going to be live streamed on this channel on OpplundTest, Minecraft's finest Cookie Monster Shig. Cookie Monster Shig. Yes, and so yeah, stay tuned and enjoy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the grind. And I have a plan. I don't remember what it was right now, but I have a plan that I have lined up and arranged for non-grindy stuff in this upcoming 4th episode. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. Know that that's coming. It'll be my first ever live stream on this channel, by the way, as well. And also I'll be strictly live streaming, at least that's the plans. I tend to stick to it. I'll be strictly live streaming my other Minecraft series, which is Void's Wrath, on this channel as well when I officially kickstart that. Of course, I'm going to wait to kickstart that probably until at least after episode 1 of this series is posted. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoy the rest of this episode. And I apologize for the way this season has gone so far. It hasn't gone quite as intended because sometimes I have to do commentary, sometimes I have to do a lot of time lapses because, unfortunately, I screw up, the recording software screws up, something else gets screwed up, and it just hasn't quite gone to plan. Episode 2 so far is the most fluid and the best one so far, in my opinion, at least in the sense of from an editor's perspective, of knowing that I didn't really have, at least I don't recall, I don't think I had any issues with the recording software or myself, so that means that that one's pretty pristine. Yeah, otherwise, enjoy this episode. Stay safe, stay fluffy, have a great day wherever you are. Hope to see you in the next video or live stream, and bye-bye, everybody.